Hello. Thank you to YouTube for letting me do a live stream, no matter how many different times it is. And when I say that, I mean that. I'm not just saying that. Thank you because this is a blessing. No, I don't have to pay anything and I can record this live. It's a real big blessing. This is part 3, I believe, of my discussion of WrestleMania 41 from this year. This was not just Randy Orton's 20th anniversary since his first singles match. This was John Cena's 20th anniversary since his first world title reign. So that's about if John Cena, if his heel turn was if he waited too late in hindsight to turn heel. I think we're going to be talking about that for a while, if not for a long time, because a lot of people would always say would always criticize John Cena. What I had noticed a long time ago was how it's not his in-ring ability that people criticized, or should have criticized, excuse me. It was what he lacked showing on Monday Night Raw episodes and on SmackDown episodes a lot. What he showed this year, in his matches with Cody Rhodes, that he also showed against The Rock and JBL and anybody else he had a match with at WrestleMania. What he had showed was why people criticized him in the first place. That he would essentially only give you his best performance in a big match, instead of giving you his best performance all the time. And, that's why when Arn Anderson retired and when Ric Flair retired, that's why that was very disappointing to a lot of people, because not only were they great wrestlers, but the reason they were great because they never gave you anything less than 110%. And John Cena, what he showed in this year's WrestleMania was he didn't give 110% like I thought he did. So anyway, that's one of the reasons that I watch wrestling, is because of the wrestling part. So when you see how well he wrestled tonight, doing things I didn't think he knew how to do, like I said, why didn't you do that when you won the world title the first time? And it's because of that. It's because he did things that I'd only see street fight, which I think that's just cheap. I think that's just a cheap way to get the crowd excited, because they could have just called it a street fight. Now, they set up tables like you would expect, but what I'm glad they didn't do or didn't go through with was him making it look like he talking about Drew McIntyre, that is, when he put that chair Damian Priest's neck, and he did like he was gonna go for the Claymore. Now, the reason I say they didn't do that like he was planning on doing was because he got caught by the choke with the choke by Damian Priest and given a choke slam, South of Heaven, I think they call it. And I remember just thinking, especially after the match was over, that the way they did it at the end was better it because you couldn't see he's not really gonna get hurt. Whereas before it looked like it could have blatantly hurt his neck, but the way they used it at the end of the match, he didn't look like it could hurt his neck as much. So that's why I'm glad they did that. Now, the only thing I'm disappointed in is how they've been building up Ric Flair ever since he came back to the WWE for the past, I believe he came back in 2001, but he didn't talk about his title reigns until 2002. So for the past 23 years, talking about him being the greatest, the 16-time world champion. How do you say that? I'm one of the few people that probably know that Ric Flair's title reigns, his record, is missing about nine reigns to it. So regardless of whoever won the main event tonight, it still would have been disputable who the greatest of all time is, because the record that Ric Flair holds, nobody's beaten it yet. It's not 16, it's 25. I think he said so himself. So that's the thing that really bothers me about that, is that even though it's not real life, it still should mention all the title reigns that historians know. That's why that bothers me. Anyway, I'm gonna finish that until I'm gonna stop talking about that until I bring up until I talk about the other matches that are still remaining. There was one celebrity fan they showed in tonight's audience that wanted to mention is the star of the TV show Arrow that Cody Rhodes appeared in when he was first in the WWE. And that's Stephen Amell. And Stephen Amell was also on another show I like to watch called Heartland. And after seeing him at WrestleMania this year, by the way, he also portrayed or portrays a wrestler in a show called Heels on HBO, I believe. Um, so that's what I really know about him. Is he was on Heartland and the show called Arrow and some other shows I'm not really sure of right now. But after seeing him, I know what character he played on Heartland. Don't know if y'all remember watch Heartland that is, but if you watched Heartland, especially from the beginning, there's this um, character called Lisa Stillman who married the grandfather of the main characters, and her nephew they showed him a lot in the beginning of the show,